Hey, what's up, Aries? Welcome back to another timeless general tarot reading. I really appreciate that you are here, and I can't wait to see what kind of energy I can pull from the cards for you. I've been doing a new thing in this particular set. Okay, well, didn't take long for you. I've been doing this new thing where I use the anime cards, anime tarot, to pick a core energy and expand around that. And your energy came out very fast, 5 of Swords energy. Something in your life at this point is, it might not be something severe, it might not be something extreme, but there is something where you are finding yourself clashing with others as to what the right way forward is. And traditionally this sword is considered a card of defeat, but my own personal interpretation is it is more specifically a victory with cost. The cost is other people have to leave you behind because they're not strong enough, or they're not willed enough to take the same path as you, even though you see the path forward. So it's definitely a card of not letting other people hold you back, being willing to leave others behind who are not on board with your energy. Definitely a card of having to make hard decisions, but in the upright, the energy is dignified enough where you are making progress of that. It's not as if you are delusional about your path forward. In the reverse energy, the delusion is more present, and the path forward is not as true, but in the upright, you're on some kind of path here. So I'm curious to see what kind of clarifiers I can get from the standard tarot here. If I could, please. Can I get something clear for this? Right, so first clarifier is 7 of Cups in reverse. This may be what you're trying to cut out. You may understand that there's more variety on the table, but you may be a little paralyzed with your options, and it's part of what you're cutting out here is variety that doesn't serve you properly. So that could be to a smidge of a degree complacency. You could be complacent about the attention you're getting, perhaps, or simply complacent about how these energies can help you out when a lot of them cannot help you out, apparently. So that's kind of interesting. And now we even have the 9 of Swords in reverse, so it seems like whatever this conflict is, whatever this 5 of Swords conflict is, helps you out in the long run. It definitely allows you to cut things that you don't need anymore to a certain extent out of your existence, and it helps you to get over some anxiety about all of that. So it's not a bad energy, even though the energies are, a lot of it's reverse energy. The complementary energy is actually quite good and quite solid here. So I don't know what this victory is that you need to take up, but there's a lot of healing involved with doing that. Right, so now we've got Page of Swords reverse. That can be toxic energy. And that would be disappointing to see if you leave this connection in a toxic fashion. That would be disappointing. It's also a sign of insecurity. It's another one of these negative energies to sort of not having yourself stabilized. But the 5 of Swords would be how you could cut things out of your life that aren't helping you stabilize in that fashion. So, very interesting for sure. It could be a sign, like I said, it could be a sign of insecurity, of being unwilling to speak up properly for yourself. 6 of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, this variety is a drain. There's a lot of, for some reason, it's draining your ability to be gracious. It's removing you from the vibration of grace that would be required to Whoops, crud. Messed up that shuffle. Yeah, if people just don't feel like they can trust you because there's too much unsettledness, that can make it hard for people to want to give. It also could be you giving to people who don't deserve it, or people who you thought deserved it, but then it turns out that they don't exactly. So another way that you're muddled by all of this variety in the mix. Knight of Pentacles. So now we've even got, let's see if I can move this down like this. Slow but steady energy. This methodical energy could, in fact, make do with the Five of Swords energy. This Knight of Pentacles is already moving slow enough as it is. The last thing they want to do is be giving their money to the wrong people. And there's also the Knight of Pentacles. The diligence of the Knight of Pentacles might actually be able to sort of sift out faulty variety, or like low quality variety. And that diligent energy could actually help discover which of these options are not of the highest value, so to speak. Which of them don't serve you the most, so on so forth. Queen of Wands, this card kept wanting to come out. So there's some fire energy for you. And luckily in the upright, because this energy is good at this energy wants to care, so to speak. It wants to be conscientious. It does not want to be inconsiderate of others. It actually cares about other people and other people's well-being. And even this energy is sort of on board with dealing with whatever this is. They would want to see you overcome this snag, for sure. They would care about you doing your best. They could be somebody who would want to be gracious as well if the proper separations were made. Okay, so 9 of Swords reversed, 5 of Wands, 5-5 from the center and the 5 of Wands. So we've got 5 of Wands here, sort of signifying that getting over this fear is important for growing properly. When you are stuck in this Nine of Swords energy, there's a certain stagnation that takes place and that makes it difficult for people to succeed. However, if those people are stuck in that fear, they could, well, want to leave you behind if you try to get over that fear, if you try to challenge your fears and conquer your own fears. So 7 of Pentacles now. Yeah, it's like energy that was sure about something working in the past, but then upon seeing the utter reality of the results of those efforts, it perhaps puts them in a little bit of paralysis for challenging their fears. But that's also why your energy is, it's not interested in holding that fear in place and like rationalizing that fear. The World reversed. Very tricky card for this, for sure. Dang, 10 of Swords just came out. A lot of insecurity is bubbling up around this. I'm not quite sure what that is all about here, but dang. 7 of Cups, secondary clarifier. So insecurity is a part of the problem. Needing to filter out poor quality in your experience is also part of this. Maybe you rely too much on there's a little bit of faulty judgment, sort of, about what you're feeling for these options on the table. But if you let yourself get hoodwinked, so to speak, there's potential to be manipulated in this variety. So I'm not sure what this variety is serving in your experience. Maybe it makes you feel like a good person to try and help so many, but there's issues under the surface, and it is possibly causing some toxicity. It is very likely causing some insecurity because of being sort of in paralysis, trying to sift through all of this energy. There's an element of getting over fear, but still missing out on just exactly what is supposed to be done. Even though some fear has been conquered, it still leads to some strange disappointment. So even just the conquering of fear alone isn't enough. There's something else that is interfering with this process. And part of that is insecurity about... Wow. Oh, never mind, 2 came out. 5 of Swords just dropped out of there, which is why I was quite excited, but it fell out with another card, so I put it back in there. But back to 5 of Swords, it is coming back to the idea that, yeah, you've got to cut this variety. You got to, I hate to say cut your losses, but that's a very crude way to say it. You need to filter out some of the things that aren't serving you properly. Even though you might think that makes you good, if it's not serving you, it's not reciprocation. There's not a reciprocation of grace there. And now if I finish with the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, fate is even blocked from helping you out properly. Oh, another thing I just noticed is you have 777, so that's pretty cool. Anything else? 77. Yeah, you have 777. That's pretty sweet. You also have 1010. Sort of a completionary symbolism. 5-5. Definitely trying things differently. The more utter reality of things being brought to bear, and you reshifting your stance in the face of that. A shake-up. Yeah, I'm not sure what... Well, okay, so the insecurity is coming from some kind of misconception about graciousness. Maybe you give too much, and that's why you get a lot of people coming to you for your grace, but sometimes those people don't reciprocate. And there might be reasons why they don't reciprocate, but in general, though, your energy is supposed to be matched to what you give. So if you're giving to all of this, it should be getting matched. And if it's not getting matched, the universe feels like there's something out of alignment. But for some reason, I'm not sure if it's insecure energy. Maybe a sort of very critical energy, critical nature. Typically prevents this growth from occurring. For some reason, you're stable in this abundance. So like the abundance is empowering you in some ways, but it's stalling you in other ways. And I'm not sure exactly what the abundance itself is, but when you're so focused on that, whatever that abundance is, fate cannot inspire you properly. You're not on the right frequency. And that can lead to 10 of Swords instances where things are falling apart around you, so to speak, where your fears have actually come to reality. So I don't know what you're resisting by defending this variety like this, but sifting out the parts of the variety that aren't serving you is very important here. Because it looks like there's some of it is a drain on you. And the core energy of the Five of Swords is about you leaving behind those individuals. But it's for your own sake, sort of. It's for your own growth. And if they aren't reciprocating the energy, then that's sort of what needs to happen. So I'm very curious what this variety is, but whatever it is definitely got you pinned up here big time. And even in situations where you can conquer your fear and grow, you aren't finding further result as you need to for your effort. There's a lot of lack of reciprocation for your effort, for legitimate work ethic and stuff like that. And it's got you blocked here. So, very interesting. I hope this helped. Hope this meant something to someone out there. Very interesting energy for an Aries reading. Very watery, very air focused. Queen of Wands showing up here. Yeah, that conscientious energy balanced with sort of the Knight of Pentacles prudence would sort of like you need to have conscientiousness, but with some exceptions here and there. Because the exceptions are actually how the conscientiousness remains complete, because that means that others being conscientious to the conscientious one is in effect, and that's the completion of conscientiousness, is when it's two-directional. And the Queen of Wands has a lot of capacity to do that, so it might be like a very interesting way for this energy to rectify the situation. It's through conscientiousness, but a different kind of conscientiousness than what's appearing here. Because there's a form of conscientiousness that is appearing here, but it is unreciprocated. And the evolution here is cutting out some of those things that aren't helping in that reciprocation and re-empowering with the properly reciprocated energy of conscientiousness. So very interesting for sure. Alright, Aries, I think that's going to be it. So thank you very much for being here. Good luck, and curious to see what you can do.